Hi everyone, welcome to the fourth edition of Edge Talks, and I'm your host Praveen Khanta. I have two excellent guests with me. Sahana Murthy is a professor in Education Technology Interdisciplinary Program at IIT Bombay. Her research interest is in technology-enhanced learning and user technology in teacher professional development. Currently, she is the principal investigator and leading the EdTech Tulna project, which we'll talk about in some detail later at IIT Bombay. The second guest we have today, my colleague Gauri. Gauri leads CSF's education technology work. Prior to joining CSF, Gauri was part of early leadership team at National Skill Development Corporation in the NSEC, and before that at the strategic consulting firm BCG, Boston Consulting Group. Welcome, Professor Sahana and Gauri. A pleasure to have you both here.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thanks, Praveen. Happy to be here.
For someone who's looked at EdTech market from outside, the bewildering array of the use cases for EdTech, I think some may call it like confusing, but I think that is the potential for EdTech to be able to, like, for the endless customization that I think is every educator's dream, so that like each child can potentially have his or her own like learning trajectory. But I know like EdTech Tulna is not only like a conceptual construct, it has gone into like some sort of a deployment. There are states already using it. There are already conversations. So both, and I think this question both to Professor Yu and to Gauri, how can Tulna potentially change the EdTech landscape in India? Like what are some of the things that you are even like say gleaning out of like early adopters and early evaluations?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so EdTech Tulna has been built on the theory of change that when users are provided with the right decision-making tools and information, this will catalyze the demand for high-quality EdTech solutions. This in turn will help shape the supply of EdTech in the long term, as suppliers will be encouraged to match this quality-led evidence-based demand. Right? So by setting the standards, we are defining what is good EdTech, what it means, and laying out the key components required to build such quality solutions within each use case, each grade range, and each instance of EdTech. So let me give a couple of examples. For example, EdTech Tulna specifically defines what would make an effective classroom-based, teacher-led solution for maths for grades 1 to 3, where the emphasis may be on building foundational numeracy. Now, this will not only allow schools to select the right tool for their classrooms, but it can guide the EdTech providers on building teacher-led solutions and provide the adequate support to teachers in addition to the content and the activities that they might create. A different example, again, let me take mathematics, would be a solution, let's say, for the higher grades, maybe grades 8 or 9, where there's a lot of emphasis on different representations. So students and learners at that age need to learn about multiple representations, how to analyze data, how to interpret graphs, how to plot graphs. And the kind of solution needed there would have to have its own specific characteristics and features. So what Tulna does is it tries to understand the needs in each of these discipline and grade level and concept and practice combination. And based on literature from learning theories as well as empirical studies, the standards are defined. This nuanced view will help new EdTech product companies, the new players in the market, to design design systematic research-led products. So this is another way in which the Tulna standards are intended to be used, thus creating a supply of high-quality solutions. Another major use case that we envision with EdTech Tulna is with state governments. As they implement large-scale EdTech-based learning programs, as they procure solutions for like a few hundred or a few thousand schools. So EdTech Tulna recognizes that the success of such large-scale programs depends on multiple factors. But one of the foundational factors is that of the design of the product, the design of the content, the pedagogical design, the UI, UX, LX design, the interactions of how users, students, as well as teachers and parents interact with the product, how the program is incorporated. So there are all these layers built into the evaluation.
Gauri?
Yes, thank you. I think Professor Sahana has covered it all mostly, but I what is exciting for us is that we are seeing some positive feedback towards Tulna from all parts of the ecosystem, right? So clearly, we aren't the only ones who are excited about its potential. Tulna is already seeing demand from state governments. As of today, two state governments have adopted Tulna as an evaluation framework within ongoing large-scale procurement of EdTech software. The Haryana is using Tulna as the technical evaluation framework in one of the largest personalized adaptive learning procurements in India so far, with 1 million children being impacted. Madhya Pradesh has also adopted Tulna to evaluate personalized adaptive learning software to be implemented in 990 schools across the state. Both the states are training expert teams under the guidance of the Tulna team. And frankly, this is very encouraging and would almost change the narrative in India from ICT as hardware alone to ICT as learning package first. Um, and with this momentum around EdTech and the need to augment resources available to teachers to help with the learning loss, we really encourage more and more states to make scientific decisions in choosing their EdTech partners. Tulna not only brings clarity to evaluate solutions in the procurement process, but it is also highly adaptable. States have so far incorporated customized versions of Tulna. So what MP is taking is MP Tulna, and what Haryana has adopted is Haryana Tulna. So Tulna is not only offering a adaptive and customizable version, but it also ensures robustness of the evaluation process by training evaluation committees to use the framework, encouraging discussions and consensus. In addition, Tulna is generating interest at the global level, and we are optimistic about Tulna's potential to inform EdTech decision making in other countries as well.